I was at university, I was 19, I went to university in England, Bradford. Anyone here from Bradford? I heard you have a northern accent though, don't you? Not Bradford. That was an insult. So, it's not a nice town. So I was 19, I was at university in Bradford, and there was a man, another fellow student, his name was Tim. And he was from Northern Ireland. So here I am, British, so-called Protestant, Church of England. He's from Northern Ireland, he's Catholic. So we were Romeo and Juliet. We were the two sides of the war. And yeah, so we got together, and he had to keep me a secret. It was not okay. Can you imagine a Catholic? I mean, he believed he would burn in hell if he... Oh no, I'm telling you the wrong story. He wasn't the first. I'm telling you about another one. That's also in the book, by the way, so don't worry if you want to... First one. I was still at a university, so yeah, and I went to Manchester. Anyone here from Manchester? No. Manchester, and I went to a party, and you can imagine, I was curious about sex. I mean, I knew that there was something going on with this thing called sex, and no one was telling me about it, but I really wanted to experience it. So I went to a party, and I met this guy called Jim, and we got drunk, we had a laugh, and we got along really well, and then the next day he invited me over to his house and with a bunch of friends, and somehow we ended up in bed together. I know I was really drunk. So being in bed with, I mean, pretty much a stranger, we only had alcohol to really connect us. And he did the thing twice. And I thought, oh, was that it? Like, did anyone else think that the first time? Oh, was that it? Is that all there is? You know, it was not the erotic, mind-blowing, multiple orgasm, spiritual experience that I thought it would be. After this, you know, being curious for so long, finally I did the thing. And anyway, the next day, you know how it is as a woman? Even if you don't know the guy, even if you don't care about the guy, you've had sex and you think, I'm connected now with this man. I can't just walk away. Like, once a man has come inside you, it's like, ooh, you've got a relationship. For a guy can walk away. A woman doesn't walk away so easily. So I thought, okay, so now we're in love, so now we're going to have a relationship. That was my naive thinking at the time. And I was on my way from Manchester down to London for the Christmas holiday. And this guy, he came from Africa, he came from Malawi. And at that point, you know?
Was he Malawian?
Malawian, yeah. No, not Malawi, he's British. An expat. So his family were living in Malawi, and they'd sent him to school in Britain. And so our ways were parting. I was going to London, he was flying back to Africa, and I asked him for his address. And he gave it to me, and that's where I realised he's from Malawi. And he didn't ask me for my address. He didn't want to stay in contact. It was enough for him to have one night of sex. That was it. That's all he wanted. And so I got on the bus and he said goodbye. And oh, my little heart, you know, it's so sad. But I still felt like, oh, I'm a woman now. You know, I've had sex for the first time. That's so cool. Anyway, I felt like I'd been initiated, even though it wasn't a great sexual experience. So I had his address. I didn't write to him. I somehow got some dignity back, and I didn't write to him. I didn't try and keep the thing going. That wasn't really a thing anyway. But then 9 years later, I came to South Africa. And my mum had emigrated in the year, I think, 1982-83. In 1985, I came to visit my mum. And I started the Science of Mind course, which is the spiritual teaching that I'm now a teacher in. And I met a man on the course, and his name was Greg. And Greg, his parents lived in Kuruman, in the desert. And we got engaged, and he wanted to introduce me to his parents. So I'm sitting there talking to Greg's mum, and Greg's mum's talking all about when they lived in Malawi. And Jim was next door neighbours with Greg, my fiance, and they were best mates when they were little kids. I nearly choked on my shortbread and my All Grey tea. What are the chances? Anyway, so there's the story. Thank you very much. Now, I know, where's Deb? She doesn't, oh, she's there. We're coming to the end, Deb, so don't stress. Okay. Did anyone notice that I've got some things here that are hidden? That's the fun part about sexuality, isn't it? Revealing that which is hidden. Yeah, I had a number, Beverly's read the books, and I had a number of Egyptian husbands as well. So I've lived in a very patriarchal culture and experienced what it's like to be a woman where Allah is the one and only, and everyone listens to Allah. In fact, my one Egyptian boyfriend, we were talking about God, and I said, how do you know God's a man? Maybe God could be a woman. He said, Stephanie, don't be stupid. Women have no power. Of course a man must be God. So anyway, that's how they think in the Middle East.